The film begins by showcasing a planet called Nowhere, which now serves as the new headquarters for the Guardians. The entire team of Guardians is introduced in this scene. One of them, Rocket Raccoon, enters a room where he is unexpectedly confronted by Adam Warlock, who has come to apprehend him. A confrontation ensues, resulting in the Guardians becoming alert to the situation. Nebula arrives to rescue Rocket, as she possesses great power. She equips herself with a highly advanced machine and attacks Adam Warlock, who effortlessly counters her assault, overpowering and incapacitating her. Despite the team's efforts to combat him individually, Adam Warlock proves uncontrollable. They hurl him, beat him relentlessly, but none can withstand his might. Observing this dire situation, Rocket picks up his gun and advances toward Adam Warlock, only to be met with a devastating attack that injures him and renders him unconscious. Undeterred by these events, Nebula refuses to give up. She rises to her feet, brandishing her hand as a sword, and manages to strike Adam Warlock in the stomach, inflicting a severe wound that leaves him weakened and conscious. Before the Guardians can launch another assault, Adam Warlock swiftly retreats from Nowhere. Peter and his companion attend to the injured Rocket, attaching a device to aid in his recovery. However, upon activating the device, Rocket begins trembling, as if the machine is sapping his life force. Concerned, Nebula rushes to Peter's side and urgently requests the machine be deactivated. She scans and examines Rocket's body, discovering numerous machines embedded within him, including one near his heart. Nebula warns that attempting to treat Rocket without removing this machine will result in his demise. The trembling observed in Rocket is a consequence of the machine's presence. Determined to save Rocket, the Guardians collaborate to heal him. Meanwhile, while Rocket remains unconscious and injured, he recollects his past memories. In these recollections, it is revealed that Rocket, once a small raccoon, was captured and confined in a cage alongside other raccoons. The High Evolutionary arrived one day and abducted Rocket for experimentation, significantly augmenting his mental acuity and physical abilities beyond those of the High Evolutionary. Following the experiment, Rocket was imprisoned once again, alongside other creatures subjected to experimentation. 3 of these creatures became Rocket's companions. Back in the present, Nebula completes her examination of Rocket's body and identifies the origin of the embedded machines. The group contemplates the possibility of finding a cure for Rocket by venturing to the place where these machines were created, a planet called Orboscope. Peter prepares the team for the mission, leaving 2 companions behind in Nowhere with the task of safeguarding the place. With the remaining Guardians on board their ship, they travel towards Orboscope. However, prior to entering Orboscope, they encounter a group of individuals, including Gamora, who explain that Nebula invited them with the promise of a 100,000 reward if they aid in the mission. Meanwhile, within the High Evolutionary's vicinity, Adam Warlock and his mother converse with him. Adam Warlock's mother explains that her son is still young, accounting for his previous mission failure to capture Rocket. High Evolutionary becomes enraged by this revelation and warns them that failure to deliver Rocket in the future will result in the annihilation of their entire lineage. It is revealed that the current location of the High Evolutionary is an entire planet resembling Earth, aptly named Counter-Earth. High Evolutionary possesses an obsession with perfection, desiring all planets and their inhabitants to align precisely with his standards. To achieve this, he visits various planets, abducting their creatures and subjecting them to experiments in order to mold them according to his vision. His desire for perfection leads him to create Counter-Earth, a replica of our planet, with matching environments, houses, and people. The Guardians' ship approaches Orboscope, but before they can proceed, a group of people boards their vessel. Among them is Gamora, who reveals that Nebula called them to assist in the mission, promising a reward of 100,000 units. Returning to Rocket's memories, it is revealed that out of all the experiments conducted by the High Evolutionary, Rocket proved to be the most successful, given his exceptional intelligence. The High Evolutionary tests Rocket's brain, confirming his extraordinary capabilities. High Evolutionary then showcases Counter-Earth to Rocket, who observes a flying rocket and inquires about it. High Evolutionary explains that the rocket perpetually remains airborne. Rocket's brain is subsequently taken to a laboratory for further evaluation, where High Evolutionary presents him with a chamber. In this chamber, a turtle is placed before Rocket, and attempts are made to modify the turtle. However, the turtle becomes excessively aggressive upon undergoing the changes. Rocket notices a flaw in the chamber machine and informs High Evolutionary that the machine's chemical alteration of their brains is the cause of the aggressive behavior. Rocket suggests that by preventing the chemical alteration, the subjects can be completely calm according to High Evolutionary's desires. High Evolutionary conducts the suggested adjustment and witnesses positive results. His subjects become calm as intended. Overjoyed and astonished by the outcome, High Evolutionary reveals his intention to acquire Rocket's brain for further experimentation, driven by the desire to understand its remarkable creativity. He commands his colleagues to kill Rocket the following morning, extract his brain, and dispose of the others as they are no longer of use. Rocket relays this imminent threat to his companions, urging them to devise an escape plan. Once liberated, they intend to board their spaceship and flee from their captors. As High Evolutionary utters his plans, Rocket swiftly gathers his belongings and fashions a key. Using the key, he unlocks his jail cell and escapes, rescuing his dear friend in the process. However, High Evolutionary appears and shoots and kills Rocket's friend. High Evolutionary taunts Rocket, expressing his expectation that Rocket would attempt to flee. He states that he anticipated Rocket's escape and asserts his intention to kill Rocket's colleagues and extract his brain immediately. Witnessing his friend's death, Rocket becomes deeply saddened and enraged. He launches an attack on High Evolutionary, scratching his face, and quickly escapes from his clutches. Rocket and his friend board their spaceship and make their escape from High Evolutionary's captivity. Meanwhile, the Guardians, accompanied by Gamora, arrive at the planet Orboscope. They reach the main area where they retrieve Rocket's file, containing vital information about his past. Once back on their ship, the Guardians open Rocket's file and learn about his traumatic history. Nebula is particularly moved by the injustice Rocket has endured, expressing profound sympathy for him. They discover that the machine near Rocket's heart, preventing his treatment, can be deactivated by entering a code. However, the code has been removed from Rocket's file by High Evolutionary's people. Through the file, the Guardians ascertain the identity of the individual who removed the code and possess knowledge of its whereabouts. They decide to retrieve the code from this person to save Rocket's life. Gamora, aware that the person they seek is currently with High Evolutionary, advises against the plan, warning that it would result in their deaths. She sends her location to her companion, urging them to quickly come to her aid. However, Adam Warlock and his mother intercept the transmission and learn of Gamora's whereabouts. They set out to capture the Guardians. When the Guardians arrive at High Evolutionary's location, he reveals his knowledge of their intentions and announces his intent to kill them all and reclaim Rocket, his subject. He discloses that he orchestrated their presence through a cunning plan. High Evolutionary instructs his people to seize Rocket from the Guardian's ship outside and then boards his own ship, ordering his subordinates to destroy the entire planet before his departure. Chaos ensues as explosions rock the planet, prompting Peter and Groot to engage in a fierce battle against High Evolutionary's forces. Utilizing their powerful weaponry, they manage to overpower the enemies and secure the man possessing the code needed to save Rocket. Peter's other companions witness the destruction unfolding on the planet and realize that Peter and Groot are still aboard the spaceship. Concerned for their safety, they rush to their aid. However, High Evolutionary captures the three Guardians upon their arrival. The Guardians notice numerous small creatures and animals imprisoned on High Evolutionary's ship, destined for experimentation. Filled with compassion, they resolve to not only free themselves but also liberate all the imprisoned beings and take them to nowhere. Peter and his companions travel to High Evolutionary's spaceship to rescue their comrades, simultaneously contacting their planet, Nowhere, to request assistance at a specific location. Nowhere turns out to be in close proximity to High Evolutionary's ship. With the help of their companions, Peter and the others successfully save their captured teammates. In the aftermath, a monumental battle takes place between the Guardians and High Evolutionary, resulting in the defeat of the Tyrant. The team implores Rocket to end High Evolutionary's life, but Rocket refuses, asserting his refusal to become like his captor. Instead, he insists on creating a new world for all the creatures and beings who have suffered under High Evolutionary's rule. Rocket is appointed as the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Peter informs his companions that he plans to reunite with his grandfather on Earth, taking a break from their work for a while. Gamora and another companion embark on their own individual journeys, eager to pursue their own desires. Surviving members of the Guardians form a new team, with Adam Warlock now among their ranks, having undergone positive transformations. Peter, on Earth, joyfully reunites with his grandfather. Meanwhile, in Nowhere, a member of the Guardians dances, inspiring the children around them to join in. Soon, the entire team of Guardians joins the jubilant dance, reveling in their newfound happiness and the freedom to live their lives as they wish. With this joyful conclusion, the remarkable movie comes to an end.